Friday, May 22nd, 4:45 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. Just completed another week. Next week is a short trading week. Why? Because it's a U.S. federal holiday on Monday. It's called Memorial Day to honor all those service members that died during wars. Go out and support them. There's plenty of events at VAs. Going to look at the Magnificent Seven. If you are not situation aware, they're the most popular companies in the tech of the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100 is a stock index. It's different than the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is comprised of many companies, but the NASDAQ 100 just says 100. And the seven largest weighted companies are pretty much the Magnificent Seven. On the far left, you can see how they close for the day. I also added Netflix in there. We'll look at that too. So looking at the watch list on the left, see some green, see some red. I see more red than I see green. That's just those individual companies. That's just telling you the performance for the day. If they're green, they closed higher from when they open. If they're red, they close lower from they open. That's the only information that's basically in there. This is another watch list. This is the stock indexes. They all close green. So the stock indexes, which the second one here is the NASDAQ, has these companies inside of it. Again, the index compared to the individual stocks. Big difference how they perform today. This is the NASDAQ 100 stock index on the weekly time frame. We just completed another week. Next week, like I said, Monday, will be closed. 5 years of history. Look at the bottom left. That's the low. And the far right. What did not occur this week, I'll zoom in, is we did not make a new high for the year. We actually made a lower high and a lower low. Yes, we closed inside the range of last week. Again, last week was the all-time high. This week failed to make all-time high. But we did close inside the range of last week. We also closed above the close of last week, that body. So now we're building a consolidation here and just sitting here on top of this imbalance area. And the prices I'll go over too. Go alphabetical order. Apple made an all-time new high for the year. So it did better than the stock index. Nice. Again, the stock closed at $308.82. Do you know you could buy fractions of a share? So if you don't want to invest $308.82, you could invest a fraction of that. You could put down $10. You could put down $50. Put down $100. Fractional shares, you can only trade bullish at this time with the brokers I know of. But that's great. You could participate in ownership of Apple. Yeah, different brokers. Some have a requirement $5 minimum. Some have 7 or 10. So yeah, you could do that. Dollar cost average. Continue adding investment into that and earning income opportunities with fractional shares if you have a broker that offers them. Amazon. Look what it did. It made a lower high, lower low. It reversed. 3 weeks ago was the all-time high. It reversed. So it's underperforming. What I'm comparing it with, it's not the leadership. Google, aka company alphabet. It did make a new high for the year. Outstanding. And then it closed red. Wow. And it looks like it closed below the low of last week. That's concerning. Again, the momentum is still bullish on these. look for the buy on the dips of the good ones or invest in the stock index. Meta, aka the company that owns Facebook, owns WhatsApp, owns Instagram, and many other things. Look at this red horizontal line on top. That's the high of last year. We haven't even taken that out yet. So it's the loser of the Magnificent Seven compared to the ones I showed. It's definitely weaker than the stock index. So this Magnificent Seven stock is hurting the stock index. It's underperforming. It's underperforming. If you're going to day trade or invest, and if you're day trading or investing or swing trading bullish, well, again, I highly recommend you go with the leaders. This is not one of them. Microsoft, also failure. It's below the highs of last year. NVIDIA. Yep, it had its earnings this week. It's below the highs of this year. Made a lower high. Also closed inside candle, solid body equivalent to a red. That's concerning. Potential reversal. Again, look at this here, Meta, just show you something. Microsoft. NVIDIA. Up strong for the year, and it did get earlier break the highs of last year. But again, it just failed to take out the new high. Not all of them are taking new highs. Some of them are trending now. Tesla, yeah, also failure. Below the highs of last year. Loser. Got several of these that are losers. They're below the highs of last year. Not even taking out the highs of last year yet. Yep. Underperforming. So back here, again, the NASDAQ 100, just shy of retaking out the high. And it's diversified. Let's look at Netflix. Also loser, below the highs of last year. Not good. Now let's take it to a lower time frame. The daily, which would be some good insight since we saw how they're performing for the weekly. This would be a 1 year chart, and each candle will be a day. So look at the NASDAQ 100. Here's the high of the year. Just shy of testing it. We didn't test it. We didn't break it. Nope. What we did form is a bearish pin bar. Just shy of taking out the high. That's concerning. We might have a further pullback. Dodgy candle, bearish pin bar. Very concerning. And next week, again, short trading week. If you're bullish, one should be looking buy on the dips. Now let's go to Apple, which we know, again, this week made a new high for the year. 1 year chart, Apple. Today made a new high. Outstanding. Apple. Apparently they're doing something right because the investors are buying him, speculating it's going higher. It's going higher. It's bullish. New high for the year. All-time new high. Outstanding. It's Apple. Amazon. Nope. And here's the high for the year. And here are we performing. Close red for the day. Lower high, lower low. Google. Yep, also trending now. Have a big gap there. And Meta. Wow. Again, we know it's below the highs of 2025. Bad shape. Lots of gaps around here. Geez. Not healthy. Nope. And Microsoft, also we know is below the highs of last year. Not good. NVIDIA. There's the high for the year. And we closed lower Friday. Lower, low, lower high. Pulling back. Again, it's the strongest financial, based on fundamentals financial, for all the companies in the stock market year to date that I'm aware of. So again, if you're still bullish, it be looking buying the dips. If you buy single stocks, or again, the NASDAQ 100. Tesla, we know, still below the highs of last year. It's not healthy. Not good. we go. The Nasdaq again, like I mentioned. And the final one, Netflix, way below the highs of last year. So for diversification, Nasdaq 100, outstanding. Good investment opportunities to buy the dip. Thank you as always, spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.